Hello everybody and welcome to the Insomnia Running Club podcast. I'm your host Mark Gallagher. You're very, very welcome. How have you been doing? How has lockdown been treating you? I've lost count of however many weeks it is now. 9, 10 weeks. It is the strangest time ever. I've been absent for the past couple of weeks. Not my intention to be absent for the past couple of weeks, but schedule, family life, fatigue, training, everything has just been, it's been chaos, if I'm being totally honest with you. You would think being in the house all the time, things would be in order, things would all be running smooth, everything would be running great. Totally the opposite. The past couple of weeks has been challenging, very much so. In fairness, rightly so. We're at home here 24/7 with the 2 kids. We are trying our best. They don't see it that way. They are just like, why on earth am I in this house constantly? Why is that happening? Why are we here constantly? Why can't I see my grannies? Why can't I see any friends from school? Why can't I go swimming? Why can't I go to taekwondo? What on earth are you doing there? Why are you keeping us locked up in the house? Or at least that's how it seems coming across. God love them. It must be the strangest thing ever. And they're the first generation since war times that will have experienced it. And it's so strange. But yes, reporting this podcast to you tonight after what can only be described as a Herculean effort between my wife and I to get the 2 kids to bed. The sun is splitting the trees here in County Antrim. It is warm, 26 odd degrees. The big bright yellowy orange thing in the sky, we can see it, whereas normally we're like that place in what do you call them vampire movies, Twilight, where you don't see sunshine. Everybody's pasty and white and pale, and all of a sudden that big bright sunny warm thing has come out, and we don't know all how to react apart from just get zonked by it and be totally beat by 6 o'clock in the evening. But yes, that's pretty much been the way of it. The kids, they're zonked, probably from, again, on my part, lack of creativity and creating new games, or I've run out of ideas and daddy just isn't exciting enough. The trampoline that's in the garden, it just isn't exciting enough anymore. Having your dinner outside and a nice table, it's just not exciting anymore. Needs to be just some new stimulation and some new fun injected into the house. But hey, that's what's going on at the minute, and that's probably what's played a part in me missing a couple of podcasts. But I said I was definitely going to get this one out. I'm going to get 2 out this week. I'm going to get this one out tonight. Tonight is Monday, the 1st of June, and I'm going to get another one out on Sunday because I need to get back on top of it. Need to get chatting to everybody and hopefully spread a bit of positivity and a good bit of crack and yeah, keep the community going. But what has been happening as far as the world of running and training, at this moment in time, I almost feel like I'm a bit of a running, strength conditioning, working on a couple of different things, sort of hybrid. At the moment, a couple of my runs have felt real quick. Long runs have felt super slow and sluggish, but of getting everything done. This week has seen the introduction of a new addition to training equipment. It is an 80-litre rucksack with the metal frame, the whole 9 yards, and had my first ruck run the other day, which was an experience. 20 kilos loaded up on my back, went for a 5-mile run, and although it was fine, I got through it okay, it is a different experience. Just that extra weight on your back, it does mimic that point in an ultra run, or later on even in a marathon, if you've been hammering it, where your legs are spent more so on your legs. You know, everything's being activated whenever you've got that weight on your back. You know, your glutes are working, your calves, your hams, your quads, your shins. Pretty much everything comes into play. It's not just focused on one muscle group. It starts to activate everything, even your upper body, your shoulders, your back, your core. Everything comes into play. It's an all over exercise, and it is phenomenal. Now, it's too early to tell if it's really going to work, but I'm going at it. I'm committed to it, and that's what's going to happen. But yeah, pretty much hit a 5 mile, relatively flat. I think it was only about 500 feet of elevation in it, so relatively flat route, and got through it okay. Did come back, was soaked through with sweat, so the effort was there, but it was more an exercise in trying to get used to it, trying to actually move or feel like you're moving at speed. You know, when it wasn't fast at all. I think it averaged out to be a 13.5 mile pace. But whenever you're walking, you know, you could easily walk at a 20-minute mile pace and, you know, feel like you're still working. So trying to keep yourself in, you know, conscious of, we're not working hard enough here, because of just a bit of extra weight on your back. It's just an all over workout. Your head's going because it's uncomfortable and you're not used to it. You know, I could head out now if it didn't have weight on my back. I could even head out without my watch on, and I would be pretty confident about know roughly where about my heart rate was and what pace I was doing, because you're just so used to it. But something new like that engages so many new muscles, or so many muscles together with the weight and just uncharted territory, it was definitely, I think it'll be worthwhile. I really do think it'll be worthwhile, again, because it mimics that late on stage. You know, I'm all about, at this moment in time, we're trying to get strong. So I know pretty much hand on heart, I can go and I can do the mile. Someone said you go from point A to point B being 100. I can go and do it. Now, I feel it in my heart of hearts that after 60, 70 miles, I'll start to feel pretty rotten, you know, and that will be a total grind. So my thought is, and again, I touched on this a few weeks ago, my thought pattern is I want to strengthen those muscles, those ones that never get worked on a 20, 30, 40 mile run. The ones that only come into play whenever you are, to use a term, fucked. The fucked muscles. That's what I'm working on. The fucked muscles need to get bigger. The fucked muscles need to get more effective. The fucked muscles need to develop. So whenever I am, quote unquote, fucked, the fucked muscles can work. So yeah, there you go. That's an Insomnia Running Club copyright right there, the fucked muscles. So the fucked muscles are getting worked constantly. I don't think I've said fuck enough, so fuck. But fucked muscles are getting worked big time. And that is, I mean, that's where your head goes. You know, your head goes into it going, I can do it. But whenever your body starts to fail, that's whenever your mind starts to get weak. So if my body can last that bit longer, it prolongs that bit where my head is telling me, this is tight. I have less time in the spent zone, the bit where my body is just gone. It's just busted sofa. That bit is later than 60, 70 miles. I'm hoping that with all this extra work, I might just gain 10 extra miles before the fucked muscles need to kick in. But even at that, you know, so there's the Ruck Run. That was one of the new things this week. Strength conditioning, even for my upper body, has been a major player this week. Just all over. Just, you know, can't neglect anything. I think for whenever you say 100-mile run out loud, that's a hell of a journey. People don't even like driving 100 miles, never mind doing it on their own 2 feet. Any advantage I can give myself, really anything, you know, anything at all, you know, just having my upper body have a freer range of motion so that I don't feel as cramped or as sore over time, or just having the core as strong as I can. So whenever my legs are spent, you know, my core is just keeping me going, keeping me upright, keeping me in a better position, again, prolonging everything before the fucked muscles need to come in. So yeah, that's the training at the minute. it's that mindset, is running on tired legs. That's part of my training at the minute. Trying to mimic tired legs, trying to mimic those late stages. I know I can get to those stages. That's not a problem at this moment in time. I know I can set off here now and I can get to a certain point before I really break down. So really the main thing is to make that breakdown point later. That is the whole point of my training at the moment. I'm not doing this race to win. I'm not doing this race to come in at a certain time. I'm doing this race so I can cross the finish line as strong as I can possibly be. Cross the line as strong as I can be at 100 miles. Within that 30-hour time frame, I'm crossing the line as strong as I can be. Delighted that I put in the effort, put in the work, and we got the result. The 100-mile tick. Life goal, 100 miles, done. Oh, why? Can you run 100 miles on your own leg? Sure can. Boom. That's what the goal is. That's what I'm going for. So yeah, ruck run, building the strength, been doing a load of core. There was a real stinker, absolute stinker of a workout that I did during the week. My next door neighbour, I think I mentioned before, they are opening a CrossFit gym, and said, oh, it's Memorial Day. I'm going out to do a workout called Murph, named after the one of the Navy SEALs. From that, have you ever watched the movie Lone Survivor? He's one of the ones that was killed in that real life event. But the workout pretty much is, now I had to do a version of it, but it was still sucky. It sucked. It was brutal. It was a tough workout. But pretty much the format of it was 1 mile run to begin. So 1 mile, warm up, go for pace, whatever. 1 mile run to begin with, and then it was broke down into, I had to do 100 push-ups, 200 sit-ups, 300 air squats. Now an air squat is just a squat of your own body weight. People are probably going, nah, it's not too dear, or not too taxing. You wait. Just, if you're gonna do it, fucking go for it, kid. You wait until you have done the first 5 sets of 15 of air squats and you feel your quads and you go, fuck me, I have another 15 sets of this to go. What on earth did I sign up for? But I did it because the thing is, see at the end of it, see after, so again, it all replicates this mindset. It's a bit of it's put yourself in those scenarios where you are spent, you are challenged, you know. I couldn't tell you the last time I done a powerlifting or a weighted squat session. It's been a long time, but getting the legs sort of going with a 1 mile run, doing the push-ups, grand. I was doing it, so 5 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, 15 squats, and that was repeated 20 circuits essentially. But yeah, once you're 5 in, you're pretty sore, or else you're starting to you're starting to feel that lactic acid build up. So knowing that you have another 15 sets of 15 and your legs are pumping, your legs feel like they've doubled in size with all the blood that's rushed to them, again, mimics that late miles, and it mimics that late miles mentality as well, where you're going, oh, for fuck's sake, you know, I've still this to go. You've put yourself in that scenario. Now, it hasn't taken you 20 hours to get yourself into that scenario, but you're in it within a half hour, 40 minutes. You know, you are tired, and you're sore, your muscles are sore, they're being ripped apart from doing a lot of repetitions, low weight, but a lot of repetitions. And that's it, it puts you right in that zone. It puts you right there where you ask yourself a question: am I going to finish this, or am I going to quit? I did the whole thing. I was accountable for every single rep of everything and every single mile, and the last mile, it was like Bambi on ice. That's the only way it can be described. My legs felt like they were buckled. It was like Forrest Gump without actually breaking into a full stride whenever he was a child. It was like Forrest Gump with the calibers on is what it was. Brutal, but I feel strong. That's the thing, you know. So I'm only a couple of weeks really into the strength conditioning phase, and my whole body feels strong. I feel like everything's starting to, I've went up a notch. You know, my whole body has went up a notch. I feel more robust. I feel more strength, definitely. Strength is there. And it's just a different mindset. You know, I went out yesterday and done a 20-mile run, and my legs thankfully were freed up. They were sore all week because last week I done the Murph workout, but they were free. And again, just had so much ammo. You know, whenever I was feeling tired, it was like, suck it up. You know, it's only 20 miles. You know, you have to do 5 times this. And it just was like, right, dead on, enough. Boom, away you go. Miles just go by, and you don't worry about it. So yeah, pretty much I feel it's working. I feel it is working. So the way of it is, that was week 1 of 10 down. It is now 9 weeks until Connemara. This week, it was a 50-mile week last week, and it's now a 60-mile week this week, which is going to be broken up into, let me get this right, 2 10-mile runs, 2 7.5-mile runs done in the one day. One of those being a ruck run, the other one being a tempo run. And then I have my long run for the week, which is 25 miles. So yeah, this is my thinking, or this is the way of it. The strength conditions given, it just keeps going. Push-ups, sit-ups randomly, just to keep my body working under, or just stress my body constantly and randomly. But the idea behind the mileage, or just get my body in a good place for Connemara, is, so last week was 50, this week 60, next week is 70. My body will be pretty torched and I'll be pretty tired by that stage. So in the 4th week, I'm going to drop it down to 40, which is going to consist of just 4 10-mile runs. There isn't really a long run in there. So then after that, we go to a 80, 90, 100 mile week. That'll be 3 weeks of absolute torture. So this is 3 weeks build up, and then not a rest week, because it's still a 40-mile week, and we'll be working on other things, other weaknesses. Then the next 3 is super miles, and then I'll have 3 weeks of taper, which I'll be running. That doesn't mean stop and, you know, party time. I'll be running. I'll be just taking a close look at a strategy as to how I'm feeling then. You know, work on hills, or work on some speed work, or, you know, just work on just keeping myself ticking over. The last week of it will be very limited. 1, 2, maybe, you know, 2 or 3 mile runs, something like that, just to keep my body ticking over. And then the big one, I'm talking about it because I really want it to happen. Connemara, I want it to happen. I just want to get it done. I had the guys from the hotel ring me during the week as well, asking them still going. From the email from the team at the Connemara 100, they're saying everything's all good to go. Obviously, things are starting to ease up a bit. So with 9 weeks to go, with all the amount of people that's going to be on the starting line at the thing, I would love to think it's going to happen. I've 2 of my team that are still all set for going. Yeah, pretty much cannot wait. And I'm enjoying the journey. I'm enjoying the process. It's a lot of learning. It's not a case of just going out and running and hoping for the best. There's a lot to this, and I think it's a very individual thing as well. You know, for me, telling you what my strategy is me working around my family life. My strategy is me working around trying to do other aspects, you know, trying to look into new businesses, trying to look into new opportunities, new things. There's a lot of things going on. You know, someone else who's busier than me, their approach to a 100-mile race is totally different. Someone who has all the time in the world, no commitments, very worry-free, you know, they can do a completely different approach to a 100-mile race. But it's a very spiritual thing, or it has been really, you know, spiritual, educational, a lot of self-learning. You learn so much about yourself through it, you know, because I'm constantly, at this moment in time, on a weekly basis, I'm constantly in a place where I'm sore. I'm constantly in a place where I ask myself questions. Are you going to cut this short? Are you going to keep going? I've not skipped the miles yet. I haven't not completed the miles I wanted to do yet, and I don't intend to. And it's just a win, you know, that after that, it's just a win every time. The thought process behind how you go about doing your workouts, the thought process between what you need to work on. Again, one of the biggest learning curves was the 24-hour run. You know, that has, I think if I hadn't done that, I think I wouldn't have been in such a good place now for going into Connemara, because I think I was genuinely kidding myself. I think if I had have turned up with the same strategy that I was doing before lockdown and before I did the 24-hour run, I think I would have been in big trouble. I don't think I would have been in anywhere good enough shape. I don't think I tell you this, I probably could still have done the 100 miles, but I think I would have seriously done damage to myself. I think I would have put myself in serious damage where it needed a fair bit of recovery, whether that be my feet, whether that be just the general state of me. You know, over 100 miles, there is a lot. With all the preparation in the world, there's a lot that can go wrong, and I'm still getting into this knowing, you know, I need to prepare and still be prepared for things not to be going my way. But I think that's what my training is focusing on at the minute, is putting myself in the shit zone, you know, the tough place, and getting my head used to sorting it out in the shit place. You know, get yourself fucked, get the fucked muscles working. That's it. There could be a book in there somewhere, Mark Gallagher on fucked muscles. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And I think that was one of the big lessons, you know, because from the 24-hour run, I was fucked. You know, mile 60, I was buggered. You know, I was walking like I got fingered by an elephant. I was destroyed, absolutely buckled. Calves were in pieces, arse was in pieces, quads, shins, hips, knees especially were fucking barking. But I got through it, you know. I think I was talking before, you know, your body adapts, which it still will adapt. You know, I was calling it doing the buggered shuffle, you know, where it was just this weird hip shuffly movement rather than running, but your body can just do it. But yeah, trying to prolong the buggered shuffle is the name of the game. Increase efficiency, increase that toughness and that hardness. And I'm not going easy on myself. That's the thing. I am not going easy on myself, because this is massive. This is a huge task. And I've actually, I think what was wrong before was I was talking about it so much that I became blasé. It was like, yeah, 100 mile, I just talk about 100 mile, I'll gravitate towards 100 mile, and that's positive and that's all good stuff. But talking about something and actually putting the work into completing something are two totally different things. I would say the workload has upped threefold compared to what it was before, and that is what's going to get me there, really. So yeah, training stepped up a notch. Training I'm excited about. Training scares me, but I want to do it because I know I'm going to be sore, I know I'm going to be tired. You know, my body was so used to just long steady state, you know, all in the one phase, whereas now I'm hitting up my heart rate, you know, I'm spiking it and keeping it there, and all of a sudden then I find that my heart rate whenever I'm in steady state, it's way lower, and I'm using less energy, I'm in the zone, you know, just taking over, just, you know, that the easy street seems to be a fair bit longer. So yeah, training's going good. This week's 60 mile week. The only other thing that I think I really, really need to do, the fourfold, not even so much physical exertion. Physical exertion, I'm doing as much as I can do, obviously, to ramp it up without injuring myself. But when I'm resting, ice bath. I think ice bath and foam roller. Maybe pansying out in the foam roller. I need to go harder with it. It is fucking torture. It is brutal. It's just, you feel like you're standing in your front or sitting in your front room and you're just putting yourself through pain. At the time, you feel it's unnecessarily putting yourself through pain. Why don't you just sit on the sofa and drink something? But it's necessary. It gets rid of all the shite in you. It really, really does. And the more shite I can get rid of, the better. Have my body as a shite-free zone. That's the aim. So there you go. That's a relief. Jeez, I feel lighter after talking about that. Actually enjoyed that. I enjoyed talking about that. But yeah, lockdown, it has not been a holiday. At this point, I am ready. Just ready to go back to work, whatever way that looks like. And not through just, I think everybody, my wife, she's working from home, and I think there's days where she could just go get me out of here. Just get me out of the house. Even my kids, I'm sure inside their wee heads, it doesn't sound like get me out of here, but I'm sure they're going themselves, can my dad just do one? Just go away from me for a while. Let me do something different than be in this house. Let me speak to someone else. Let me speak to someone my own age, and we'll, I don't know, throw balls at each other or whatever they want to do. But yeah, it's getting to us all. It is just getting to us all. Hopefully it's coming to a stage where maybe not back to normal, but it's some sort of normality. Maybe you're back to some sort of normality already, and if you are, hey, well done. But yeah, it's a mad one. It really, really is a mad one. 2020, this wasn't how it was planned out. You know, people goal setting, people setting their sights on things. I'm sure they've had to readjust the life out of stuff. Business, forecasts, it's just different. It's a different landscape out there. But I think there'll be opportunities. There'll be opportunities for all the good stuff that's come out of it, for people to do stuff after lockdown. I'm hoping to just keep a few things that have been so good. I appreciate the things that I've missed so much. And also the things I've had lots of time to reflect and look at going forward. What other things am I missing that I just were doing in my day to day? And that was okay, because I've always done that and it's been that way for so many years. But what would I like that's new and different and fun, and I get up in the morning and just have that zing, the same zing that I have about running and fitness and wellness. What else can I do that gets me out there and gets me fired up? Because I'll be honest with you, I have not missed talking to Joe and Mary about selling motors. I haven't missed it too much, if I'm being totally honest with you. So we'll see what comes of this. But yeah, strange time. Hopefully we'll take all some good from it, but on the other side of it, hopefully we get back to having a bit more freedom. I think not so much normal. Maybe the normal's not great, but a bit more of the freedoms that we were taking for granted. That's probably a better way to do it. The freedoms that we were taking for granted, I hope everybody appreciates them more. And once we get there, hope we cherish them and make the most of them. I think that's definitely, I think everybody hand on heart could say that from lockdown. People that maybe have been blown away and look forward to that after lockdown, or people who have been sort of, lockdown has knocked them back and they're looking forward to, I think, yeah, any way you look at it, freedom is what we're all looking forward to now going forward. But listen, I'll keep you up to date on Sunday. Definitely this coming Sunday there'll be another podcast. Go out there and talk just about how the week's going, how training's going. I said to Ivan as well. Ivan's the other guy that runs Run Insomnia with me, but the running club. Now, not much has happened during lockdown, but it was always the intention to get Ivan involved in the podcast too. So get Ivan in. We'll just shoot the shit. It's not even so much an interview, it's just me and Ivan talking about things that go on in the running club. People were talking about chats, things going on. Yeah, and I have a few other ideas for people to get talking to, people that just get you fired up, you know, not even so much runners, but people in other sorts of fitness, people in other types of wellness. Yeah, just, you know, I think it's important. It really is important. The wellness side of things, you know, it could be anything. You could be into flipping hardcore Tai Chi. I don't know what you'd be into, but if that kept you fit and healthy, and that kept that thing that's between your ears in good shape and healthy and well, that's what it's all about, really and truly. Your health is your wealth. Whether you're, to keep you running right in the week, you squat 200 kilos or deadlift 300 kilos, or you play tennis for 10 hours a week, or you blast out the old Tai Chi. I don't know what it is, but I think that's what we all need to promote. You can do it in any way. If you just so happen to run, do flipping one-handed press-ups, whatever, badminton, sit-ups, gardening, abseiling, whatever your happy place is, whatever your thing is that keeps you well and it keeps you living a life that's vital and healthy, I think that's what we all need to focus on and promote. So yeah, people, not that I know anybody that's into Tai Chi. Yeah, there you go, maybe a bad example, but I'd say we'll bring people on. So don't expect someone who's into hardcore Tai Chi for me to be interviewing them. That's not happening. That just sort of went off on a tangent, a bit of a wild one. But yeah, we'll get chatting to people to promote the health and wellness. Health is your health. Your wealth is your health, pretty much. And yeah, I think that's what we all need to remember and focus on at the minute. But listen, guys, thank you for listening to me. I hope this coming week, maybe you get to enjoy those freedoms we were talking about. I hope this coming week you get to attack your goals. Hope this coming week you get to achieve whatever you're wanting to do. I hope this coming week you get to focus on whatever you're going to do. I hope this coming week you take whatever opportunity you can to have it on your terms and to nail the week. Do whatever it is you need to do. I wish you all the best of luck, and I'll get chatting to you soon. All the best. Bye.